Welcome, everybody, to the RnR Catcast, a fan-based podcast focusing on Montana State athletics. We're two dudes named Ryan from the state of Washington talking about our dear Montana State. We hope you enjoy. All right, welcome back, Bobcat fans. Thanks for joining us on another episode of the RnR Catcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Foley. We have a full crew tonight. We got Ryan Thornburg and Zach Levere back. We are the RnR, the Montana State affiliate of the Big Sky Podcast Network. And we want to give a shout out to the Bobcat Collective. If you're passionate about supporting Bobcat athletes, visit bobcatcollective.com today to learn more and sign up to be a member for as low as $25 a month. Membership supports student athletes and provide great perks for members, including exclusive events, behind the scenes content, and more. Again, that's bobcatcollective.com. We're here on the heels of a sad Gold Rush. Almost forgot the name of the game there for a moment. Yeah. 30-24. We're going to talk all about it. I still am knee deep in the feels, but that's what my role is on this podcast. I'm the feeler. Thorny, is it Eeyore? Zach, the stats man?
I am not the Eeyore.
You are.
No. You like to think that you're not an Eeyore, but you are equally Eeyore-y.
Takes one to know one, right?
Sure. Just a couple of Eeyores. Actually, it turns out that one of us is an Eeyore. The other one seems to like balance it out. I feel like one person feels like obligated, like, all right, I see Foley's in a dark place. I'll be the positive light this episode. So I think we balance each other out. But in reality, we could both equally be Eeyores.
Oh. All right. We got a lot to talk about tonight, fellas. So we'll get into Gold Rush, the 30-24 loss. Did you guys know that we are on our first 3-game losing streak since 2016?
Yeah, I heard that. I think it's kind of a
there's
stupid
a stat for you. All right.
I
I guess that's the news segment for tonight because there really is no news. We'll get into the top 25, the press conference. We'll talk about the stats. We'll go back over the SDSU game and preview the USD game. The San Diego Toreros are coming to town. We'll bring back Name That Cat. We didn't get to play last week because Zach was working, but we're happy he's here. And then we'll get into Levere's locks and some Golden Coolie questions. First, let's talk about what's in our Golden Coolies.
What's in your Golden Coolie?
What's in your Golden Coolie is sponsored by Wilbur Ellis. Go see Shea Richter and Company up in Fort Benton for your farming and fertilizer needs. I have a Spartan race, my first ever Spartan race on Sundays, so I'm really kind of watching what I eat and drink this week. So I have another Budweiser Zero, as I did. I already had 2 Budweiser Zeros on this
This is
podcast.
why we lost.
Yeah,
by the way.
probably. I didn't drink Budweiser Zero last week, did I?
Yes.
Last week too? Oh,
Yeah.
man. Well, crap. Well, there it is.
Go to the fridge right now, Thorny. Sacrifice. You have to break this, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. Get
Nope.
up and go to the fridge.
Nope, not going to happen.
All right, Zach.
If we lose to USD, there's a lot more bigger problems than me drinking a fake beer.
Next week's going to be Pendleton whiskey if we do that.
Yes. Margarita Ryan will make a return.
Margarita Ryan. That's what you are. He's Eeyore. You're Margarita Ryan.
I'll wear that.
All right. I told you it was coming. Sent you a picture yesterday or 2 days ago. Picked up a 6-pack, Besson River Brewing, the Oktoberfest. And boys, I've got just 2 left of the 6-pack. They are damn good.
Malty and bready.
Yeah, it's nice color. Like the color, like it has that fall pumpkin-y looking. It's a good color beer too. I poured it into a glass yesterday. Oh, goes down well.
I had my first Oktoberfest last night at Running Group, and the brewery we frequent is Perry Street, and I always feel like their kegs need like 2 weeks once they put them on tap to kind of season up for some weird reason. Like the first couple pours out of there do not taste the same. And so it was okay. It wasn't the best, but I'm expecting it to get better. But yeah, I can't wait. But if you're in Washington, we're in midst of the fresh hop season. And you guys know what fresh hop beer is?
I do not.
You've
Okay.
told me. I forget.
Yeah, I think it's like they have to if they're brewing the beer, it's a limited amount of time that hops after they harvest the hops that they have to brew the beer. And I think it's like within 24 or maybe 48 hours. Could be something close to that. But yeah, so that festival is coming up. So we're in a good time to have good beer. None of which I have. I bought an Alaska Ascender Pale Ale. It's in this blue can. Blue gets me, man. I love blue. Whatever it is on the shelf. So my eye catches it for some reason. So yeah, it's pretty good. It's decent.
I've had quite a few of those Alaskan Ambers in the bottle. They're a solid go-to.
It's not an amber though. This is just
No, I
Alaska.
know, but...
Yeah, but the ambers in the bottle are legit.
I'm not sure I've had anything else from Alaskan Brewing besides their amber.
Yeah,
because that's such a good one.
Okay, so let's get into the top 25 because there's really no news unless something comes up to your guys' noggins. No players of the week, no injury reports. I think Burke Mastel's still a little bit on the shelf. He won't be back for a while. Any news on Taki?
I saw him on a little boot with a scooter on the sideline.
That's never good.
But
what about Chris Long?
No, I have nothing there.
Okay, all right. I think Chris Long would have made a difference in the game last week. It was kind of a bummer that we didn't see him there. Okay, so here's the top 25. This is Stats Perform top 25. North Dakota State's number 1. They were previously number 1. South Dakota State stays at number 2. Tarleton State's 3-0. And they were previously number 5. They took our spot. We bumped down to number 4. 0-2. Montana's on our heels at number 5. They were previously number 6. Rhode Island, Illinois State, Idaho coming in at number 8. They were previously 10. UC Davis is number 9. And Lehigh is number 10. Filling out the rest of the top 25. Northern Arizona bumps from 19 to 18, so that's pretty cool for them. North Dakota's coming into the Grizzlies this week. They were 20. They're up to number 16. Sac State dropped from 18 to 21 after they went 0-2. They lost to Jeff Choate in the Nevada Wolfpack.
Off a pick 6.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Would have won that game.
Yep, they should have won.
Other than that, I don't think anything pops out of. There's no other Big Sky teams receiving votes. So we dropped 2. We dropped 1. Excuse me, in the Stats Perform. I feel that's fair.
I'm okay with it.
I mean, Tarleton's 3-0. Do they have an FBS win?
Yeah, they beat Army, who just beat Kansas State. So I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm okay with the Cats falling further than 4th.
So a quick buy or sell. I don't want to spend a lot of time on buy or sells because we got a full episode, but buy or sell, Montana State scheduled themselves into trouble.
Yeah, I'll buy that.
Okay.
I mean,
it wasn't intended because we were supposed to play this game in 2020 against Oregon, and it just so happened, we got to go back to back with 2 hardest games of our schedule.
I sell it. I'm selling it. You want a team like South Dakota State in Bozeman for Gold Rush. That's a prime opportunity. You want to have those opportunities.
I can see both ways. It does feel good to be 2-0 rather than 0-2.
1-1 would feel fantastic with a win over South Dakota State.
Yeah,
Who cares about Oregon? Like, who really cares?
Yeah, that would be the best. Oh man, I don't know. I think I'm going to buy. I think Montana State did schedule themselves into trouble. These early season playoff type games are amazing, but in the end, we'd rather have 2 more wins stacked up in a resume if we're trying to get the 2 seed to stay home to get to Nashville this year.
I think it also battle tests you though, even if you lose them.
Yeah,
I know. Pros and cons.
Coach Spiegel said it would battle test you, but it also can expose you as well. That was one of his quotes from the presser.
Well, then expose is what you need to work on.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm convinced now you got to go to Fargo to go to Nashville.
We got to go to one of the Dakotas.
You're going to have to go to a Dakota, likely Fargo, to go to Nashville. Yeah, because I think Tarleton's going to win out. There'll be a 2 or 3 seed. I think regardless of who wins between the 2 Dakota states, I don't really see maybe one of them drops a game somewhere. I think NDSU is the real deal once again.
Yeah, my real question is, are South Dakota State or Montana State even that good?
Who's going to be the sacrificial?
Was that 2 teams that were pretty darn good facing off in Bozeman, and there's still North Dakota State looming over everybody this year? Did both programs take a step back and we had a slugfest, and it doesn't matter because NDSU is NDSU? That's a question that I thought.
It's a real thought I had is another thing I had is maybe in a couple weeks we feel NDSU is here, SDSU is here, we are here, 50 feet, everybody else is down here.
Yeah.
Which is the thought I've really been struggling with and wrestling with is ones if NDSU is just so much better and South Dakota State and us are just kind of a coin flip game no matter where you put us, but whoever wins is the sacrificial lamb to the bison again.
No. There's so much that changes between here and like December. It's so crazy as far as how teams progress, teams get better or worse or flatten out.
Yeah. Every year you look back in December and you're like, we're not the same team we were we're not the same team we were in September. Sometimes better, sometimes worse, but you're never even close to that same team. It feels like a lifetime away.
Yeah. And I think that's what a takeaway from this game from me was that last year we came out as a more polished product. This year we're seeing us as not as polished product with more potential to grow. Like, I don't know what our ceiling is. Is our ceiling as high as it was last year? Or is it higher? Is it lower?
Hard to say.
I still think it was 2 really, really, like, there was a lot of mistakes on both sides, but I just left thinking these are 2 really dang good football teams.
Yeah.
And these are 2 really dang good programs that are going to be playing hopefully late into December.
Yeah, I think you're right.
That was my takeaway. Is this is like if it was a boxing match, it wasn't a knockout. It went to a decision, and it was a 1-point decision.
Yeah,
like it was a 10-round knock 'em sock 'em split decision.
Yeah,
that's how I took it.
Man, okay. Give me your power rankings. Just give me your top like 5 or 6 of Big Sky.
It's hard because Idaho goes and almost beats the Cougs and then almost loses to St. Thomas, Minnesota at home. The Grizz look like ass in the first half against Central Washington, and they can't stop anything, and then they figure it out in the second half. And then Davis, I mean, they had a game canceled. They looked really bad against, Utah Tech, and then they lose 70-10 to Washington. And then Northern Colorado almost beats Colorado State, the game they should win.
Yeah.
So I don't know, because there's teams that have played. I can tell you who's the worst team in our conference. It's Portland State this year by a mile. But then I also got to think like Idaho State gives a hard game to New Mexico, but they're 0-3. And I don't know what to make about half these teams right now.
Yeah, it's tough. Doing a power ranking week.
Sorry, that was not a power ranking. That was a rant. I apologize, but yeah.
So I would go Montana State's number 1. I still feel like if you had to give me true serum, not just being a Bobcat fan, but probably the top team in the Big Sky, I put Montana as number 2. Even though they played one game, I just get a general feeling that the other teams haven't showed much. And I just get the feeling that Montana, with its tradition and its recruits, they should be there. They should be there. I'll put UC Davis number 3, NAU number 4, and my sneak or my tasty bit of this segment would be Idaho State number 5.
Nah, see, I disagree with that. I think Sac State would kill Idaho State.
Maybe.
So I put Sac State
maybe
at 5.
Idaho State's been salty.
They had Nevada beat.
But
And
they look like dog crap against.
They did.
The
But they're
Jackrabbits.
same thing as a lot of the teams right now. There's a whole new coaching staff, roster, everything. They're assumingly going to get better as they gel.
So I had Idaho next, then Sac, then Eastern, Northern Colorado, Cal Poly, Weber, Portland State.
No, my top 5 same as yours, other than Sac State instead of Idaho State at 5.
Okay, fair. All right. Good to know. It's always fun to kind of think about that power rankings. Yeah. Okay. Let's get into the presser real quick and do Foley's and Fisher's Fashion Watch.
And now, Bobcat fans, it's time for F&F Fashion Watch, brought to you by Foley and Fisher, the only two that seem to really care what Brent Vegan is wearing at his press conference.
Thank you, Russell. Coach wore a deep navy suit, a white pinstripe shirt with a steel blue tie. No pocket square, no baloney.
One of these days.
Can I interject real quick? Because we just played Russell's quick. I know he's listening. He had an all-timer at Gold Rush on the late hit against Lamson. That was a no call where he got speared in the back.
Yeah.
Russell he goes, tackled by so-and-so and late hit on so-and-so. And the whole stadium lost it because there was a very loud boo. And then there was kind of a pause and he did his thing of so-and-so makes the tackle on Lamson and late hit by so-and-so. And it was just a, ooh.
Yeah, that was a dirty hit. I don't know. There's no other way to look at that. He did that on purpose.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of good things to say about South Dakota State, and it wasn't just because we lost. I thought there was a lot of behavior from them after that game that was pretty poor.
We'll get into that.
Even during the game too, but we can get into that.
Yeah. Let's cover a couple of highlights from Vegan's presser. A couple softball questions early on. He always takes a little bit about just players. We're going to talk a lot about Cole Taylor, I think, this coming season. He's emerging as a dude. He said he's earned a role, obviously. Does he bump daily? I'm thinking he does at this point, from what we've seen. He said Burke Mastel will be back. I still feel like Burke's going to be a couple of weeks. Chris Long would have made a difference, he said, in that game. We could have took the top off or just made some separation in some of the passing routes that, I mean, this game was a play away. Whatever that play was, it was a play away for the Bobcats. And so you would want to think that Chris Long could have made one of those impactful plays. He says we have to find a way to keep going, raising our level. He says, I like her potential to do that. He seems clear-eyed in where he sees the Bobcats going, which gives me a little bit of solace because I was like, man, I wasn't panicking. And that's something I kind of want to ask you guys. Like, who brought it up this week? The panic meter. I'm like, I'm not in panic mode for the Bobcats. It doesn't seem like Coach Vegan is in panic mode either. Are you guys in panic mode?
I mean, no, if there's like a little panic mode, the arm swaying, my arm is like resting at 0. I'm not panicking at all.
Yeah.
I'm not panicked. I'm frustrated.
I'm frustrated as hell.
Yeah. I'm extremely frustrated and I have a lot of thoughts. If we did this podcast on Monday, I think I'd have a different attitude than I do right now.
That's more time to cool off a little bit.
He was asked about the O-line. He said the O-line has struggled handling movement, and he said our expectation is they perform better than they have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't mince words when he talked about our deficiencies. He also said we haven't had a punt blocked in 4 years, and now we've had 2 in 2 weeks. It cannot happen again.
Yeah.
My man.
He might go nuclear if we have another punt block this season.
In his vegan knees, that was probably some of the most direct comments about his players in his playing that I've heard in his tenure here. So he's a bit frustrated.
That was probably the sloppiest the Cats have looked probably in quite some time under Brent Vegan.
He's like, we weren't good enough in first down. We had 4 3-and-outs, 3 in the second half. He had this game memorized in his head too. you can tell when this game means a lot. He just kind of rattles off certain situations and certain stats. You're like, how would you know that? Of course, because he was watched it probably 5 times since then, and he knows exactly every little detail of it. He called this the Battle of the Punt Teams, which was a kind of a funny moniker of the game, but it was a true statement and kind of an undertold story here. And like I said, he said competition hardens you, but it also can expose you. He's like, we don't have a sense of panic, but have a sense of urgency.
Yeah, urgency is a good word because we can't falter again.
You've given a lot of teams in the conference a lot of film on how to beat you, I feel like.
Yeah, but how many teams can replicate the defensive line that South Dakota State has?
True, but I feel like we've exposed a lot of weaknesses very early in the year to teams.
So this goes back to my first buy or sell of did Montana State schedule themselves into some trouble? Guys, I just don't find a bad way to say 2-0. Like if we have 2 cupcake teams come, albeit FCS teams, those wins feel a lot better right now than 0-2. And I get the competition. It was fun. Like, let's just talk. Like, let's talk about the atmosphere. It felt playoff football. 22,000 plus attendance record. I mean, it's Gold Rush. You know how I feel about it. Huge game. And it's fun for the fans. But it's a loss. It's a loss. I don't know. Was it worth playing the Jackrabbits?
Yes.
That's probably a better buy or sell question. You think it is, Thorny?
Yes.
All right, Zach?
Yeah, it's worth playing them because they're not afraid of us. And
Also,
I like the thing that frustrated me leaving the stadium that I brought up in the car of my instant reaction was, what do we not have? Is it NIL? It's not fan support. It's not facilities now. It's not, I don't know, campus. It's not location. It's not talent. Like, what is it that's making us that we can't beat these guys? I mean, we're 1-10 in our last 11 games against the Dakota States. Pre-COVID, I understood it. There was some deficiencies on what we were able to pay guys. There was just some deficiencies in facilities for sure. I'm at a loss of why do we keep playing these damn coin flip games and we keep losing? There's a bison head on one side and there's a bunny head on the other, and the teams are calling heads every time, and we keep losing these games. Like, that's kind of how I feel is the tangibles don't feel like they're the things that we're losing these games by. So it's the intangibles, and what are the intangibles?
If you ask me, if you watch a lot of North Dakota State, South Dakota State football, not against the Cats, when they need plays, somebody makes an insane catch. Somebody makes a great throw. Somebody makes a great play. And I feel the Cats have lacked that kind of clutch, single play making ability in important games for a while.
Yep. Dan Jackson got hired at the end of the coaching search, lost practically everybody when Jimmy Rogers left for WSU and took a bunch of guys, and somehow in 9 months put a team together that was good enough to come into Bozeman and beat us. Now, like, the thing I thought about is, if we lost Vegan, do you feel confident whoever we hired, we could put a team together to go into Brookings and beat the Bunnies?
No.
Because I don't.
No.
And that's my frustration is, what do they have over there that we don't, that makes us keep losing these coin flip games?
No, they were in the same boat as the Cats for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, Stiegelmeier was there for a long time before they got to the elite national level. So it's not like this is a history tradition that was built. You know, it was a long time building up to where it is. But yes, they successfully now transitioned it to a third coach. So what are they doing? What's in that? What's in the water in Brookings?
It's Brookings, South Dakota, too.
Ugh, yeah.
It's probably just a mental belief that they can, and because they have. And I think your stat of saying, hey, we're 1-10 against these guys in the last,
it's like 2016.
Yeah, something like that. there's just a general belief that, like, for instance, there's a probably a general belief that we're just going to rip the heads off the Toreros this weekend, and that's probably what's going to happen. Do the Montana State Bobcats believe when we play the Dakota States that they can win?
I do believe that.
You think?
I'd sure hope so.
I'm not sure I would believe that a couple years ago, but I
Yeah.
believe after last year, going toe to toe, after beating USD, after losing in a pretty respectable fashion, I guess, and then the national championship game and having close games South Dakota State, I would hope that they're believing.
I mean, I used to come off these games and think there's just such a talent gap and they've just got so much more than us. And then after the 21 national title, I really just think like I think we're there. Like it's like I think our talent is on par with these teams for the most part. I think our facilities, our fan support, our money, our NIL, all the things that are important, I feel like we're at least on par with them.
Yeah, I mean, hard to say.
Yeah.
Hard to say. I do think that we still looked a little worse on the lines on both sides in South Dakota State.
I
Like-
disagree. I think our defensive line looked badass. Thorny.
Yeah. They kept us in that game and they made a lot of plays.
And you can make the excuse for the offensive line being shuffled around, being young as well. I mean, those guys gelling, playing Oregon and then South Dakota State, they're going to mature through this season. Hopefully when Mastel gets back, we can play the guys in their desired positions. I don't know, Ryan. Like this thing is like 1 in 10. Like at a point, you're like, oh yeah, we do believe we can beat them, but there's got to be doubt. You're like, man, we've lost 9 out of those 10 matchups. What's going on? And like you said, Thorny, like those other guys, the Bison and the Jackrabbits, they make plays when plays need to be made. There's a thread on Bobcat Nation, and it's kind of like a what if moment. You're like, well, if Tommy would have not hesitated when it was 3-5, if Adam Jones would have juked left instead of going right, it's like these what if moments. Like that doesn't seem to happen to that other team.
No.
Yeah.
So why is it happening to us? Why is it always just one play that we're? Why didn't Julius get that first down right there?
No,
Do you think Scottree would have gotten it?
It's like the difference between like champions and other programs. Like North Dakota State gets that first down.
Yep. Right.
I 100% believe that they would get that first down in that scenario.
Yeah.
We break up the pass in the overtime on that throw. The defensive back gets a hand in there. It's all of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the block punt. It's the block to point after for North Dakota State in the end zone. It's that one extra thing. And I think it's a belief thing. That's what I'm trying to get at. I don't think this is a talent gap thing. I think it's up here, fellas. I think this just like until we beat these mofos, they own us. They do.
Dude, it's also other games, though. It's not just exclusive to Dakota States where I feel this way about playmaking stuff.
This is the same thing we
it
talked about on Sunday with the
exposed.
Grizzlies, though. This is exactly being little brother to Grizzlies in the streak.
Yeah.
We're little brother right now.
We are.
Swallow
Right
that.
now we are.
Sucks.
We can say as much as
Freaking
we
sucks, man.
want, but the results are all that matters, and the results are 1 in 10. The results are we beat them one time in Bozeman when they came off a bunch of road games.
And to me, this is an inexcusable loss. Inexcusable loss. I've been waiting for this all week, boys. This is where I'm feeling the feels. This is where Ryan Foley's going to sit tonight. This is an inexcusable loss for Montana State. You have Gold Rush. You don't lose on freaking Gold Rush. You have an attendance record. You don't lose on when you have a freaking attendance record. You find a way to win. You scrap and claw. You find a way to win. You do not lose this game. This is a bad loss for Montana State. Now, you can still say, yeah, there's positives going forward. I absolutely believe that. But this is a bad loss. In my opinion, this is Vegan's worst loss.
I can't call this a bad loss.
I
Inexcusable? I don't know if I can argue with the inexcusable. Bad loss? No.
you should have won that game. There's no way around it. The game was there to win.
It's a wasted opportunity. A gigantic wasted opportunity.
fellas, we got outcoached by a first-time head coach coaching his second game as a head coach. And I hate saying that.
The atmosphere's worth 10 points alone. Gold Rush should be worth 10 points, right? Do we agree on that? 7 to 10 points, Thorny?
I'd say at least 7, yeah.
Yeah, I'm there.
No way in hell we should have lost that game. That's a non-lose situation. That's a bad loss for us.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now, you can quantify, you can parse out what bad loss means. But looking back, we'll remember this one. The Cats will too. They'll be like, yeah, we should have won that. No excuses. So
I don't know. I can't imagine losing to a top 2 team at home in double overtime is a bad loss. I just cannot call that a bad loss.
I would if you played I could excuse it if you played mistake-free football, but you didn't. You shanked a punt that gave them the ball at the 50-yard line, which they went and scored. You had a punt blocked, which they went and scored. I mean, both their touchdowns and regulations came because we gave them the ball in incredibly good field positions.
Mm-hmm.
The defense bowed up because they had a great script on the first drive, and we held them to 3, which I thought was an absolute win on the first drive of the game. Mm. And yeah, both teams had punt block weird stuff, but we made more mistakes than they did, plain and simple. You don't, on the first overtime, when they're running their reverse pass and he's throwing the ball 15 yards out of bounds, you don't hold the receiver going into the end zone. You let that ball go. You got to have awareness. You don't put 12 men on the field with 2 minutes to go.
That was probably the worst thing.
That right there lost us the game a little bit.
Well, that kind of cost us maybe 20 seconds most.
Oh, no, it cost us 45 seconds to a minute.
No way. Coach Vegan even said it was about 20 seconds.
It's still 20 seconds and you had the ball at midfield.
Yeah.
That gets you a field goal opportunity to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
Lamson running it on that last down as well in the 2-minute drill, right? He needs to make that pass. There's a lot of things that go into it, but yeah. All right. We're going to do this.
Transition into the stats now.
Let's get into the stats. Stats.
All right. Well, your stat segment is brought to you by Pronghorn Wealth. If you haven't looked at the stats,
if you haven't looked at the stats since the last time we lost 3 games, 2016.
Nice.
Or check your 401k.
There we go. Yeah, I like mixing those up. I wasn't going to do it, but I'm glad you did. But yes, reach out to Kendall at Pronghorn Wealth to benchmark your current plan fees. Visit pronghornwealth.com today to get started. Let's dive into the stats on this one, which are pretty interesting, pretty even. Cats lose 30-24 in double overtime. The Cats end up with 17 first downs for just 16 for South Dakota State, so pretty even there. The Cats went 5 of 15 on third down, which is not very good, but then you look across the way, South Dakota State was 1 for 13 on third down. They picked up just 1 third down conversion. Yeah. They did go 1 for 2 on fourth down, where the Cats were 0-1. Cats ended up with 349 total yards of offense, with 139 of that through the air on 19-29 passing for just 4.8 yards per pass, 210 yards on the ground on 42 attempts for 5 yards a carry. The Jackrabbits can't even eclipse the 300-yard mark at 297 yards of total offense, 174 through the air on 17-25 passing for 7 yards a pass, 123 on the ground on 40 attempts for just 3.1 yards per carry. Great job by the Cats defense. Jackrabbits had 5 penalties for 45 yards, and the Cats 4 for 28. Each team had 2 turnovers for 2 fumbles lost, and the Jackrabbits won the time of possession battle 33 minutes and 5 seconds to the Cats 26 minutes and 55 seconds.
Jackrabbits had 3 sacks, and Montana State had 4 sacks. Let's see. Lamson, 18 for 28 for 123 yards. He had 20 carries for 96 yards. He was our leading rusher. He had 1 touchdown. Julius Davis was 12 carries for 76. He had a long of 33. Adam Jones had 9 touches for 30 yards and a touchdown. This is interesting. Jones had a pass, a recorded pass. He was 1
A
for 1
dime.
for 16 yards.
That
Yeah.
was
An
a
absolute
great
dime.
play. Oh, that was a beautiful. I don't even think it was a design pass play.
Oh, I think it was.
It had.
It did not look like it the way he was holding that ball. He looked like he was running. He goes,
I
never
think he
mind.
was just selling it, but
Yeah.
He just
Southpaw
flicked it, I
dime.
think. Yeah, I didn't see that coming. And then he had 6 receptions for 41 yards. So Jones, a rare reception, throwing stat, and a rushing stat. That's pretty cool.
Nice.
Taco was 4 for 18, and that should be one of your wah buttons right there because
Yep.
only 4. Come on, man. Let's go.
They were ready for Taco.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. He should have more than 4 catches. Dane Steele had a bright. He was one of the bright spots. He had 3 catches for 49 yards with long and 34. Overall, we had 7 receivers for 19 catches for 139. Cole Taylor, kid from Great Falls. I'm gonna just blast that every time I get a chance. He had 13 total tackles, 7 solo with a half tackle for a loss. Kenneth Iden had 9 total, 5 solo with a half sack, 2 tackles for a loss. Parsons, Eckert, and Greavy all had a sack. There's something cool. Cruz, Zach had 4 total, 1 solo, and a half sack. And then over on the other side, the Bunnies, Chase Mason was 17 for 25 for 190, 3 touchdowns through the air. He's 14 for 34 on the ground. Juice Luffridge was 23 for 38. 78. I do believe that it says. The long of 13. And Lofton Ogroski had 11 catches, 139 yards. That guy torched us. He had 1 touchdown. Torched us.
Pretty much the only one who felt like he was doing anything against the Cats.
Yeah.
Players
Pretty
of the
much at
game
all,
for South Dakota State probably get a warm dish afterwards, like a bean and potato casserole or something like that.
Definitely
Tater
not a
tot
thorn
casserole.
dog.
There you
A nice hot dog. Thorn dogs will sell to anybody.
go.
Green's the only color that matters.
Warm dish, hot dish. Taco needs more touches. He can't get only 4 of them for 18 yards in a big time game.
He did lead the receiving core in receptions, but so he did get the most of any of the receivers. Adam Jones did a bunch of dump offs, really, but yeah, 4 for 18 is just not how you want to follow up your career day in Oregon. He needs more touches, and I thought South Dakota State had a really good plan for him. And honestly, just Justin Lamson did not have a lot of time to throw the ball.
No.
And he should not be our leading rusher.
No.
How many of those were designed, and how many of those were
I think
scrambling
Vegan
for his
said that.
life?
Didn't he say, he goes like, he ran 20 times and only 4 of them were designed or something?
Yeah.
There's a lot of scrambling because the dude had no time to do anything.
He needs to learn. His learning curve needs to be steep right now. He's never been the man. He's been kind of a gadget guy. He needs to learn.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm not down on Lamson at all. I thought he had a pretty solid day considering the tough defense he ran into and the Swiss cheese offensive line for parts of the game. It's a little brutal. And he had a good pocket presence, and that one scramble he had where he stiff armed South Dakota State guy to the ground and then picked up and then like dove for the first down, which he did not get that on TV. It looks pretty short, but we'll take it. We'll take the spots when they come. But
Also looked like he got concussed on that play.
He dove for it, man. He stiff armed a guy to the ground and then dove for that first down. You love seeing that. That guy is a baller. He's a tough guy. Yeah, and then he got speared in the back.
It was clearly targeting, man. They showed replay on it on the TV. It was head-to-head targeting.
Yeah, it's just something about Montana State quarterbacks. Like, they just run the ball with their quarterbacks in Montana State, so don't give them any calls about quarterbacks getting crushed or players getting crushed. We get like nothing. We get no calls for quarterback roughage. Bullshit, bro. Roughage. I said a swear on the podcast. I don't do that very often. Yeah, so there's the stats. I don't know. What else do we want to say about this game? We already said quite a bit before. We said some things on the instant reaction show. We've already talked about the overarching, like, what the loss means. Is there any, like, X and O's football stuff we want to talk? I feel like it's what we should talk about if we're going to.
Foley, you said before this game you don't think it defines our season. And after the game, I agree. I don't think it defines our season. But it weirdly makes me feel like the margin for error is 0 now. You can't go lay an egg at NAU in a couple weeks.
I don't know why everybody's so worried about NAU.
I'm terrified for that game now, man. I'm terrified.
Why?
It's
They should be terrified.
Yeah, we've had a month. We will have a month at home. We get cupcake U's back to back to back, and I just worry that's been a house of horrors. Like, it's going to be your first true road game since Oregon.
I don't get the mystique around Northern Arizona that everybody talks about.
I'm worried. Officially worried about that game.
Weird stuff always happens to walk up Skydome. What are you talking about?
Everybody glazes Northern Arizona. They're always a mediocre to mid team in the Big Sky.
Yeah, and it's
exactly.
hard to beat them at home.
That's a bad one.
Dude, Montana State's going to be a top 5 team going into Northern Arizona. Now, like, I might be like, they'll cheese on my face or whatever. Man, I don't know, Zach. Like, pump the brakes, dude. We'll cross that path.
I feel like I could easily go through this history of this podcast and find times that Foley has talked about how hard it is to play in over there. But now he's
please. No.
Now he's just like, no, man, we never worry about that. I never feel this is a hard game in Fargo. What the hell am I talking about? What place is it? Flagstaff.
Flagstaff.
I think Foley's being revisionist here. But we shouldn't be worried about it. That is absolutely the truth. We should not be worried about it.
Hey, Northern Colorado might be a game now. Who knows?
No, I'm never worried about Northern Colorado.
Colorado State sure was.
They blew their wad already. They're done.
So after the game,
that's the peak of their season is almost beating Colorado State.
I got a question for you guys. After the game, there was a fire everybody thread. Of course there was. What did you guys think of?
It was a joke.
It was very much a joke, though.
It said, because I clicked on it, it said, nah, I'm just kidding. Like,
yeah,
okay, not just kidding. But there was some people critical of Sturbick's play calling. What's your guys' take on it?
I didn't love it. But I don't know. It's hard to tell because I thought we were a little outmanned on the lines offensively.
Yeah.
So hard to know. It does feel like we should have probably ran the ball more in certain situations. I thought the running game did get going from time to time, but honestly, we just could not sustain a drive. We'd have like a burst play, but then we couldn't finish it off. So I don't know where to kind of place that blame, so to speak.
I feel like it was like a 30, 40-yard play, and then it was either a sack or a loss of 3 yards or an incomplete pass on first down.
Yeah, Zach, you're right. It's like it was like a big chunk play, and then we run inside zone where Lamson would just get bottled up, and then all of a sudden we're like, it's 3rd and 8. We're behind the sticks. And you're like, oh, we're out. We could never capture the momentum. It was wild. I think Gregorak kept saying, it's like, Montana State's offense is, you're like, you would think they're doing pretty good. Like, Thorny read off his stat. What was their rushing for these guys?
210 yards for 5 yards of carry.
5 yards of carry.
Yeah.
Didn't really feel like that watching the game, though.
It definitely
Exactly. Point made right there. We just couldn't string it together. We went 5 for 15 on 3rd down. So that's wild. So
we also had 64 of our yards on 2 plays.
Mm-hmm.
So the other 40 yards were for 150 yards or whatever, 40 carries.
One of you two texted me during that game, are we going away from running the damn ball?
Yeah.
Felt like
Are we changing our identity? And is that a good or a bad thing if we are?
I feel like full stop, like pump the brakes if that's actually happening. Like if Sturbick's going to change that attitude or identity, he doesn't have permission to do so.
he doesn't have the personnel to do it.
He does not have permission. I don't think Vegan would go for that one. No, just full stop. No. So I think there's going to be a meeting between him, and that kind of piece that together too. My translation of veganese that we need to start running the ball.
Just 21 carries between Jones and Davis.
Yeah, it's different. It is different. And to the point where, like in years past, we ran the ball almost too much in situations where we couldn't run the ball, right? Like being too stubborn. And now we're not doing it enough. It's weird.
I don't know. We ran the ball 42 times. Again, how many of those Lamb's been scrambles, though? So 42 carries for 29 passes. We're still rushing more than we're throwing.
He took 20 of those. He rushed the ball 20 times.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, no, half of our rushes should not be quarterback.
Oh, no.
I just
again,
don't know.
I don't know how many of those were designed.
Like,
not that many.
When you played, like, how good is South Dakota State's defense?
They
Pretty
look
damn
legit
good.
to me.
Yeah. And then, I mean, we haven't even mentioned, I don't think, but what Oregon did to Oklahoma State this weekend is, you still going to argue me they're not a number one team in the country potentially? I mean, good.
They crushed Oklahoma State.
Holy cow.
Made me feel better just watching them dismantle them even worse than they dismantled us.
They had 3 plays and they scored 2 touchdowns to start the game, and they were up 13-0 within 2 minutes.
Blink of an eye.
Yeah, that's wild. So I want to talk about this, guys. When we blocked we didn't block their punt, when their kicker whiffed.
We
Well,
hurried
like,
him into a
I've
block.
watched this several times. I'm positive that, well, okay, yes, he did whiff, but the reason he
was
did that
getting
is because he
blocked.
was going to get blocked, so he pulled the ball back. We were going to block that. But yeah, that whiff.
Yeah, he looked absolutely silly. He got the
He did.
worst case of the yips I've ever seen. I think he might have not whiffed. He might have like actually touched the ball because it did go forward right
I think he
into
did. I
Seth
think he
Brock's
got it.
hand.
I think he grazed it.
I wasn't there, Zach. I want to know, man, because like,
Dude, the
Foley
lid
was on
came
his
off
walk.
that place.
You told me at that
Keep
point,
walking.
you guys are just like,
you said I'm on a walk, and then that happened. I said, keep walking, Foley.
go back. I'm watching that again. I'm like, here goes, dude. We're gonna win this thing. Like, it's 22,000 plus people just off the chain. We are just cooking.
And then we get a
then-
stop.
Yes.
We do that, and then we get a 3 and out, and we get the ball back, and I'm like, we go win the game right now, and
Yeah.
then we go 3.
It's
and
over.
out. I was like,
It's over.
are you
Game
kidding
over.
me?
And then we don't do it. And that's the thing that's just like I can't understand that. How did we not win? How did that moment happen and we don't just avalanche those guys? And I got to give all the credit to South Dakota State.
Yeah. Because if that was reversed and that was us where we had been kicking their butt most of the game and then we get block punt, it's all of a sudden tied. Dude, we lose if we're on that side of the field. Like, come on. We know how that goes.
Gosh dang. Man. I don't know how that happened. Like,
Can I put
we're gonna win.
a bow on this real quick and we can move on?
Sure.
What do you guys think of the helmets? I thought they were pretty cool. I like
Yeah.
that logo.
That's cool.
They're
the
sick.
logo. What you know what else was
And I'm
cool?
sad we lost in them. Like I wanted to remember those.
The north end zone looked really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looked pretty cool. It made us look one step closer to looking like a big time college program.
It felt big time.
All right, guys.
Squandered loss.
Any other
Opportunity.
thoughts? We got a lot to go on this podcast, and I don't want to sit here talk about the bunnies the whole time.
Cole Taylor's a stud.
It's
Yeah, he
week
is.
2.
Electric City, let's go.
It's
Coulter
week
says
2, and we
Coulter
need to
said
win.
he's like a bigger Alex Singleton.
Ooh.
A good comp.
We got a young team, it feels like. That's what it feels like to me. It's like we got a lot of young guys coming up through this system right now. That's why I say it's like we don't have it as polished product as we trotted out last year.
There's a lot of room for an improvement, and I believe we will get there. Like you said, what's the ceiling? I don't know, but I think it's pretty high. It's still a deep playoff run ceiling.
I think Zach and I were right that this defense is already better than it was last year.
Yeah, I think it's a really dang good defense.
Yeah.
Hard to say just yet.
If you hold the Dakota State school to 17 points, you should be able to win a football game.
1 for 13 on third
Yeah.
down, man. Like, are you kidding me? We could have took their souls with that.
Yeah, that's true.
Damn.
That's true.
All right. Let's not play the game of what ifs. Let's move
San
on.
Diego.
The whale's vagina.
Said the V word. And I said the BS word. Now I got to put an explicit tag on this one.
Man.
Son of a bitch.
Saint Diego.
Might as well lean into it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Anything else on this game? Can I close my tabs on my browser?
60% of the time. It works every time.
Okay. All right. Moving on to the next opponent, shall we?
Not Mercyhurst. Thorny.
Not Mercyhurst. I hope you didn't read my Twitter. I was convinced we were playing Mercyhurst for some reason, which I actually did zero research for. I just spewed it. So anyway, playing University of San Diego Toreros, and the game preview is brought to you by Madison River Brewing. Crack open Montana with Madison River Brewing. Inspired by the rivers we fish and the places we love, our beers are brewed for adventure, for friends, and for stories worth telling. Find Madison River Brewing wherever great beer is sold, or come straight to the source in our tap room on Frontage Road in Belgrade. Madison River Brewery, the Montana beer.
It's great.
Well, boys, what do we know about the Toreros?
They lost to Cal Poly pretty badly, and then they beat Southern Utah.
They did not lose to Cal Poly. They did lose to Cal Poly.
Yes,
God,
they did.
I read that wrong. And they beat Southern Utah. Weird start of the season. I do know on their ESPN page, the third article has a picture of Jim Harbaugh.
Yep.
In the UST cap, and he hasn't coached there in quite some time, so I'm not sure why that's on their recent
20 years
recent thing. But yeah.
So in their season opener against Cal Poly, they committed 7 penalties for 91 yards.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
That's brutal. Bad. Yeah. Are they non-scholarship still?
I think they're still Pioneer League.
Yep, they are.
But did the Pioneer League turn into a partial scholarship league?
I
can't
know.
remember. Either way, they play in that same conference with like Presbyterian, Drake, Stetson, Davidson. Historically not a good conference. Now San Diego's had some very good teams. It's been a while since they have. I don't know. I feel like this game may not completely wash away the bad taste we have in our mouth. It's like it might be closer. It won't be a close game in the end, but I think it won't. It might not like make you feel like, all right, there's the Cats. Like it might still be a work in progress coming out of this game.
Do you think that's going to be the way because the Cats won't be able to rush the ball the way you want to see it?
I don't know. I just I need to see more continuity in play calling and extending drives outside of just explosive plays. I need to see us go deep. I do need some deep balls here. We have tried like zero. We tried a really good one against Santiago State. That was really close, but a little bit underthrown. That was a decent ball by Lanston, but he needed about 2 more yards on it, and I think it was a catch. Although I still think it was Jabez Woods, right? Whoever it was should have come down with it anyway.
Yep. It was in his hands.
It was.
The thing we haven't seen from the Cats is some offensive rhythm. And if I can see offensive rhythm and then a smothering defense like we have, I would feel good.
Yeah, I think the Turtles will have a pretty hard time moving the ball.
I need this to be a 35-0 at half or a 31-3 at half kind of game. I need you to dominate.
Yeah, I think that could happen. I think that's a possibility. But it also wouldn't be shocked if it's not.
Who's coming in after Lamson? Is it Duchesne or is it Wilson?
It's Duchesne. I think Vegan was pretty clear about that he's the number 2.
Okay.
I just don't have a lot to preview. Like, go do what you're expected to do for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, these ones are hard to preview when we get kind of these cupcake-esque games. We put some time and effort into them in the past, like previewing like top players and stuff, and maybe we should have, but it just feels kind of, I don't know. They had a guy who rushed for 202 yards against Southern Utah. Matt Colombo. That's a cool name. 5'11", 205. Pretty big kid.
What the heck was that?
ESPN's now launching stuff at me when I click around on things. This was a problem a couple years ago on the podcast, and I thought I had it solved, but now it's back.
It's back.
It's like an ad that popped up when I clicked on Matt Colombo's name. So I got that going for me.
So their quarterback, Dom Nankill, if we make that guy's day a bad day, it's going to be a good day for the Bobcats. So let's just put it that. So I'm looking for the Cats to smother the Toreros on offense. And like the biggest thing I want to see us is have some momentum with our run game. And that's going to be key for us going forward. I do feel if we are not as sharp, like Thorny said, you might feel like there's a little meat left on the bone that we might want. It's going to be okay because Mercyhurst next week, and we have a young offensive line that we're trying to break in and kind of gel together. I think too, Sturbick, no matter what you say, having new coordinators is a big deal as well. It's going to take for him a little bit to learn his players and learn his rhythm as the season continues.
Yep, I'm just looking for improvement, physical, like athletic domination, and just I want to see better special teams, continuity on the offense, and be able to extend drives and a couple big plays, and defense just continue what you do. Don't have a letdown. I want to see the players step up and keep continuing to make plays. Like, don't give up some big random plays against a team like San Diego in Bozeman.
Just looking right now to see what Temple and UTEP did. See what our former coordinators did.
Do you think it's going to be a big big crowd?
Yeah, I mean it will be. I think it'll
fall
be
football in Bozeman.
I mean, it's hard. It's a hard ticket. It's a small stadium. I think you'll still get 20,000. You'll get a good crowd.
All right. Anything else on the Toreros?
No. It's quickest preview ever. But after such a monumental game, it feels, I don't know, just feels weird to even talk about San Diego. It's such a drastic from Oregon to South Dakota State to San Diego. It's like a bit of a downer, I guess.
We need to win. That's all I'm looking forward to.
It'll feel good to get in the win column.
Yeah.
Pretty confident we'll get in the win column. You never know, but pretty confident we're getting in the win column.
You need a whoop down. That's what I need.
A whoop down. Good old Thorn Dog whoop down.
Thorn Dog whoop down.
Thorn
okay.
Doggy whoop down.
Should I call one of my dogs the whoop down?
Absolutely. That's a coin term for me, man.
What would the whoop down be?
That's a very good question. I'd have to put some thought into that one.
Would it be a hot dog with whipped cream?
I thought about whipped cream. Yeah. It'd be gross. I do have a dessert dog on tap.
Ooh.
But
is it a churro in a bun?
No.
Is that even legal in the United States, Zach?
It'd be like a brioche bun with a banana instead of a hot dog, and it'd have like Nutella, peanut butter, marshmallows, and like chocolate sauce on top of it.
I got it for our Bobby Houck dog. It's just an outdated Vienna sausage that needs to go.
There it goes. Yeah, we're talking about the Bobby Houck dog, and I came up with it just be a burnt bun with just sauerkraut and mustard. No hot dog, just straight sauerkraut and mustard.
Grizzly dog and just dead Kodiak grizzly meat.
If there would be a hot dog, it would be the most bitter IPA worst you can get your hands on. Also, burn it.
All right. 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 All right.
Game preview, bot.
Dude, I cannot wait to visit one of your hot dog stands.
One of them, yes, it's going to be an empire.
Franchise.
It's going to be an empire. Just leave a Seattle Mariners game and there's just 8 Thorn Dog cards outside.
Oh, maybe someday.
I would love that.
Questions.
Bobcat
So many
Stadium.
questions.
Bobcat Stadium, just, where are your seats at? Oh, section 302, right next to the Thorn Dog stand.
Yeah.
I like where this is going.
Yep.
Vegan, you no longer have to say bologna. It's Thorn Dog.
Bologna's
Oh my
just a
gosh,
hot dog
if you actually
pancake
said
anyway.
thorn dog, I would lose my mind. That'd be one of the greatest things ever.
Gotta get some product placement going here.
I'd be like, oh my God, we did it. I wish we could have some like game with vegan. I've thought about making a vegan like bingo card, so like people would actually watch these and like stamp the vegan bingo card. But if he would listen to us and play around, like if we had a pet word for him to say, like pterodactyl, do you think he could get pterodactyl into next week's presser? There you go, Coach Vegan. Somehow
We've been
If
at
you're
this
listening-
for 2 years and none of it has come true at this point.
it's okay. I'm a long distance runner. I play the long game. Coach
we
Vegan.
need to get the ball to Taco Dell or to kind of our pterodactyl of the receiving core.
Yes, somehow it will be celebrated. People know. People listen. Pterodactyl. Let's do it. Come on, Coach.
Solid dinosaur.
We love you, Coach.
Top 5 dinosaur.
He's 0-2 right now. The worst skid. I don't think he's effing around a pterodactyl right now.
You gotta be a little more subtle than that. That's an extreme one.
Baloney was a good one because you can just say, "Oh, that's baloney" or something like that.
It's still on the
I
table.
know,
You
I
could
know.
still do baloney. I would take that as a win. Thorn dog would be the ultimate.
Yeah.
Pocket square was an easy win too. He could go no tie, open collar. We have so many suggestions for Coach Vegan.
Love you, Coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it. You could dye his like little tips red or something blue, for I don't know.
Let's play our game now. Let's play the game.
Okay.
Name the cat.
Name that cat time.
Name that cat.
Oh,
All right.
boy.
Name that cat. Zach, you're back. I missed this last week. So standings, Thorny's up 2-1. And here it is. All right. Get your cell phones ready, fellers.
It's ready.
All right. This young man. Let's see. Here it is. Enters the season as MSU starting blank. Played in 13 games in 2024, logging 19 tackles. His 2.5 tackles for a loss came against Mercyhurst and Sac State, one each in UT Martin with a half. His sack was against Mercyhurst. In 2023, played in one game against Stetson to preserve his freshman status. Is this Caden Dowler, Takari Carr, Tayden Gray, or Corey Boyd?
Can
you give me the
run
choices
through
again?
those one more time?
Yep.
Caden Dowler, Takari Carr, Tayden Gray, Corey Boyd. Ooh.
Not feeling confident about that.
I don't feel.
You guys noticed that my chair is slinking down? My chair's broken.
I just noticed that.
I just keep going slowly down.
2 dings. Both of you got it right. It's both Tayden
Hey!
Gray. There it is.
I put car and I deleted it and I changed it to gray.
Nice.
I thought
All
it was.
right.
That was the one I was worried about.
Okay, so Thorny's got 3 points. Zach is up to
Maintains
2.
his lead. Mm. Feels good.
All right. Good job,
Feels really
fellas.
good.
Name that cat. All right. What's next? Golden Coolie questions?
Do you know that or the lines?
Oh,
Our
yeah. Levere's locks. Let's
Lear's
get into it.
lax.
All right, gents. I got to figure
are
out a
doing
way to
locks.
revise this because the way I've been seeing the lines, Montana Sports Bets puts the Montana lines out on Tuesdays. And then Saturday mornings, they put everybody else's. So I'm going to come up with something in the rest of the week to figure out how we're going to do the rest of the Big Sky. We'll just do the 2 Montana teams this week. Cats are 28.5-point favorites against San Diego. I am taking the Cats.
What's the line? 20 and a half?
28.5.
20 and a half?
So you get that hook for 4 touchdowns. I think we're going to whoop down them. I think this is going to be a pissed off Bobcat team. I think it's going to be like a 55-10 kind of day.
I'll go
Concur.
take the Cats.
Same.
All right. Seems easy enough. North Dakota goes to Washington Grizzly. The Grizz are 3.5-point favorites. I am taking UND because I think the Grizz are going to get exposed, and I think North Dakota is actually pretty good this year.
What was the line again? Sorry.
It is Grizzlies -3.5. So they
Ooh.
are the favored team by 3.5 points.
Only 3.5.
Yeah, that's kind of like almost like a pick 'em in Washington
Yeah.
Stadium.
I'll take the Grizz.
Fully.
I don't want to, but I probably will also take the Grizz.
All right. All right, gents. I will come up with something the next day, and I will let our audience know next week what my decision is so other people can play at home. Maybe I just put these from my personal Twitter account, and I'll release the results so nobody thinks we're cheating. But, yeah. Pretty easy little week. It'll be much easier when we get to conferences, though. When we get to conference games, I think it'll really tighten up.
I like that. Okay, let's move into some Golden Coolie questions. Run the Ball says, what's more concerning, the number of QB runs or the lack of success for the running backs running the ball?
Number of QB runs, because I don't think our running back success is cognizant on like the play of facing Oregon's defensive line and South Dakota State's defensive line. Our guys are going to get theirs, and they're going to figure their stuff out. It's just you play 2 buzzsaws up the middle the first 2 weeks. I think it's more indicative of when our O-line gets healthy and everybody plays in their correct positions.
Thorny, what is it for you? Is it more concerning for Lamson to continue to run, or is it more concerning that the running backs haven't got their yards?
I think right now I'm more concerned that Lamson's running so much.
Do you think it's because he's not seeing the play, that he's just being kind of jittery back there?
I don't think he's jittery. I don't think that's how I describe Lamson at all. I just don't know if he's seen the entire field or if he's just, he's not having a lot of time to throw. I haven't determined yet.
All right.
But I want the running backs to get more going. I want a 100-yard rusher.
Yeah, right. I'm with that. Caplet says, why can't we call a third down pass beyond the sticks? What is it with the program and not having any semblance of a threatening passing attack?
I thought we had a semblance of a passing attack.
Against Oregon, it felt like more solid than it did against South Dakota State, if I'm not.
You're missing one of your top weapons, too.
Yeah.
I don't know. It does seem frustrating that we're always throwing short of the sticks. I don't know if that's routes not going far enough or what that thing is there, but it kind of happened
That was
enough times to be frustrated by it.
Yeah.
3rd and 8, you can't run a 5-yard route.
Nope. Rick Run says we have this stable of running backs and seemingly don't even want to use our true tested top 2. So I think he's stating that
Run the damn ball.
Yeah,
the running
run the
backs go.
damn ball.
I think that's pretty
Hellcat
consistent
72
thoughts.
said, "Where's Chris Long?"
I know he was hurt.
Yeah.
Where's the deep ball? We don't need Chris Long to throw a deep ball, do we?
I hope we don't.
I think we might.
This is the hard part on TV. You don't get to see the routes downfield. So I don't know if there's receivers getting past the defenders that Lamson didn't see. Like you'll never be able to see that on TV.
Technocat says the only question: how do the Cats go from could beat the DSUs to does beat the DSUs?
I think we kind of broke that down earlier. That
We already had a big mystery about that. We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know.
We talked about that enigma earlier.
Missoula Cat fans 6,666 post asked us, Pete Sturbick offense, like it, hate it, jury's still out.
Jury's still out.
Yeah, jury's still out for me. Playing two teams like we've played, hard to get a real gauge on the offense.
It's kind of weird game. I mean, taking a step back from all this emotion, it is weird to know that we've played these two like hyper unique games.
Two teams that could win the national championships in their respective divisions. I wouldn't be surprised if it's SDSU and then Oregon with national championship winners at the end of the year.
Yeah. I thought about placing an Oregon futures ticket on a national title the other day. They look the part, man.
They look the part. We'll see what happens when they play real squads. Oklahoma State's not a historical slouch, though.
Yeah.
There's a new poster named Gay Fire Pit. They responded to some of our stuff in here.
What kind of name is that?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. For all the things. A fire pit? Okay.
I do love a fire pit.
And a couple people I might have spouted off a little bit, and I said, this. I still stand that this is an unacceptable loss. You can't lose this game. You have to win that game. If you can't beat the Dakota State game on Gold Rush with a record crowd, then when did we win? You had everything going for you.
Is there a Golden Coolie question in here?
No.
Okay, you just ran.
That's it. That's my little rant at the end. So I kind of mentioned it. Yeah. So the Golden Coolie thread has turned into a little bit of a back and forth between some posters, which I don't mind at all, and some people submitting some questions. I thought the best question was go back to Technocat, who said Sturbick, like it, hate it. I think that's a good one to think about.
My dad's got one on Twitter for you.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
We'll fully have to take any quote-unquote walks during this week's game over under 2.
I'll put it at 1.5.
I'm going to take the under. 1.5, I think, is a good line. For San Diego, I think it's 1.5.
Yeah.
We'll do something stupid right before
if you're taking
halftime,
2 walks against South,
and you'll go be like, you know what? I'm going for a walk.
Yeah.
Exactly. We'll give up a touchdown right before half or something. Like, God darn it, I'm going for a walk.
Oh, yeah. You know me right there. That is it.
The UT Martin game last year.
I would bet the under on me going for, what was it, 1.5?
We're putting it at 1.5.
Yeah, I would bet the under on that.
What was the official fully walk count during the South Dakota State game? Was it just one long walk or?
4 laps around the block.
But once, does that count as 4 walks if it's just a repeat?
4 separate.
Oh, okay.
So what makes me, it's kind of challenging because I have to go back and rewatch the game after the game is over in order to get the details. But I mean, this is how weird I am. I walk and then I hold my phone so I can feel the buzz from your guys' text messages. And normally it's Thorny going, oh, or Is the worst. UGH is the worst. And I'm like, no. What was it?
Ugh. Not going to give you any context. Just ugh.
So yeah, there you go.
So how many laps did you do during the Oregon game?
Oh, none.
None? Okay, so
No,
the fully walk tracker is at 4 laps. Buy or sell 22 laps for the season.
Oh yeah. What would you say per game, averaging per game? Probably 2 in the conference at least. I'd go over.
Over 22 and a half?
Yeah, I'd probably go over.
Let's go 22 and a half. I'm going to say under 22 and a half.
You going to keep track of this?
Yeah, I'm going to do it for a regular season.
Okay. I'll let you know. I'll count them up. I had 4 laps.
We need a fitness studio to sponsor us.
I think if the cats were if the trails were within 14, I'd probably take a walk. If we made a stupid mistake, we go with a fumble, we're up 14, we go with a fumble, and they get it inside our, 50 or something like that. It'd be like, I'm done. I'm out. I need to walk this out. So if we have a lull in the third quarter, something weird happens. If we kick it off to them and they drive down on us on the third quarter and score, I'll get upset. I'll just leave.
I'll just leave.
Yeah. What was with the thing that kind of torqued me off a little bit last week was there's no game cast on ESPN.
Yeah, they really were poor throughout for most of the games.
Yeah. So I couldn't see down in distance. I was just kind of beholden on getting your text and then rushing back and rewinding it and watching it again. And which sounds so stupid. I'm weird. I get it. I understand this, folks. But there's no game cast. I couldn't watch it as I was walking it out. Do you not walk? You do this.
I pace. I mean, I had multiple people tell me. I had Heather Costello tell me stop pacing because I was on the roof of the stadium pacing back and forth between the plays.
Yeah. What do you do, Thorny? You just sit there and just take it all in?
Yeah, I'll pace around in my living room, but I won't leave. I can't stand to not watch.
All right.
I pace a lot. I can't sit unless San Diego Mercyhurst, I'm going to be pretty calm. I can normally either sit or just stand and be still. But for a brawl game or a playoff game or a game like that, I'm pacing. That's number 2. That's 2, shooter.
It's pissing me off.
All right. Anything else, fellers?
I think that about does it for me.
Pick a Boys, winner.
Did the 0-2 start torpedo the season?
No.
Okay. That's where
we
I'm
can still be Big Sky Conference champs and a top 2 seed.
The top 2 seed is going to be much harder now, but
it is. But weird stuff does happen.
All right. Last question for me then would be, if you could go back, would you do it again? Would you play Oregon and South Dakota State back to back?
Yeah.
I mean, knowing what I know now, no, but
because a win against South Dakota State would have been tremendous for the program.
We didn't realize,
and it was winnable. It was attainable.
Yeah, we were playing a generational Oregon team.
Yeah, Oregon, Schmorgan, whatever. Yeah. If it means we get SD at home at Gold Rush, that's what you want.
I would rather play San Jose State and Tarleton. That would have been more sweet.
Sure. I mean, if you're offering a road trip to San Jose State, I'm all in.
Also true.
Does Leon continue to book these home and homes with South Dakota State?
Probably not.
I don't know.
You gotta switch it up. You gotta switch it up with someone else.
That's why I like the North Dakota State game in Vegas, because it's a cool place for both teams to go.
I forgot about that. Yeah. It's gonna be cool.
That's gonna be sweet.
Do we play another FBS game next year?
We play Nevada.
That's right.
Which is perfect. It's a perfect game to play.
Yeah.
Play Wyoming, play Nevada, play New Mexico, play Utah State. Those are the games we should be playing.
Agreed.
Does Choate beat us next year?
If he's still
No.
there and still has a job.
It could
I
be
don't
like
think he
his
will.
Grizzly game.
Buy or sell, it's harder to recruit to Reno than Bozeman.
Oh, bye.
Bye.
For sure. We see that already. We
Yeah.
took so many of his recruits.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on. I need to flush South Dakota State from my brain. I'm still mad, but got to move on.
Gotta move on.
Got to move on.
Anything else in this episode?
Cooley winner.
Oh, let's take a look. I was wrong. It was Missoula Cat fan. Like it or hate it, Sturbick's offense. I don't know. So here's the deal. I sent 2 coolies out today to our friend Roger Fisher. And Technocat, I'll award 2 of them. Technocat said the only question, how do the Cats go from could be the DSUs to does beat the DSUs? We led in with all that today. That was an important part to this. So Technocat, I'm going to give it to you. And I'm also going to give one to Missoula Cat. Like it or hate it, jury's still out on Pete Sturbick's offense. So good job, fellas. I'll reach out to you guys, and then if you want a golden coolie, I'll send you one. Flush with them. Let's get them out there.
I gave one to the dude who walked 46 miles.
Nice, dude.
Met him. I said, you get a handshake and a coolie for doing that.
They're good ones, man.
Yeah.
They're awesome. All right. Let's get out of here, Thorny.
All right. Well, the outro is brought to you by Thorn Dogs Hot Dog Emporium. Come check us out. You can always find us on Twitter, RrCatcast. You can always find us on the web, rrcatcast.com. Email us rrcatcast@gmail.com. Fellas, let's get this game flushed out. On to the next one. Go Cats.
Go Cats.
Go Cats.